Okay. Our lesson for the day is just a review of multiplication, and this is using rectangular array. Okay. Let's take this one for example. You can see all these stars. We want to find out how many stars are this. Well, of course, in finding out how many stars are this, you can just count all the stars one by one. That is fine with this example because there's not a lot of stars. But if you have a lot of stars, then you will see why multiplication is actually helpful. Alright, so how do we do multiplication using this figures? Alright. So let's count how many rows are there. Rows are the horizontal line, alright? So that's 1 row, 2 rows, and 3 rows. So therefore you have 3 rows. And then let's count how many columns we have. Okay, so that's 1 column, 2nd column, 3rd column, and 4th column. So there are 4 columns. In multiplication, what you just need to do is multiply the numbers of the number of columns by the number of rows. So that is 3 times 4, which is 12. Okay, so if you count all these stars, you'll find out that you have 12 stars. Another one. How about these smileys? Okay, how many rows do we have? So let's count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are 4 rows. How many columns do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 columns. So now the question is, how many smileys do you have? So in order for you to do that, I did write stars, but that should be smileys. So you just have to multiply the number of rows times the number of columns, and that'll be 20. Okay, let's review one more time about multiplication as repeated addition. Okay, so what is 3 times 4 means? What does this mean as shown in repeated addition? Okay, 3 times 4 means 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, meaning you're adding 3 4 times. Okay, so that's just 12. Okay, that's that is how you express multiplication in terms of addition. How about 5 times 4? It'll just be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So adding 5 4 times, which is 20. So if you check your multiplication, 5 times 4, that's 20. And that's also equivalent to 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Okay, another example for multiplication as repeated addition. Let's try this one. 6 times 3, and that is equal to 6 plus 6 plus 6. That is adding 6 3 times, and that will be 18. Okay, what about this one? 5 times 6, that is just equal to 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Or adding 5 6 times, and that will be equal to 30. How about some application of repeated addition or multiplication? Let's try this cute puppy in here. Okay, so we have a table here. The first row is the number of dogs, and the second row shows the number of legs for each dog. Okay, so for the second column, we would see that if there's 1 dog, there are 4 legs. Unless your dog is amputated, well, normally dogs would have 4 legs. And the third column, you have for 2 dogs, you have 8 legs. And for the fourth column, you have 4 dogs and 16 legs. Okay, so at least for the first 4 number of dogs, it is shown in the picture. I mean, it's shown in this table. But what about if you have 100 dogs? Are you going to count them one by one, or skip count by 4 to get the number of legs? Okay, so let's do this example. How many legs are there for all 3 dogs? So it'll just be 4 legs for the first dog, plus 4 for the second dog, plus 4 for the third dog. So there are 12 legs for all 3 dogs. Okay, so basically what you need to do is just multiply 3, the number of dogs, times the number of legs for every dog. How about for 4? So you have 4, therefore is 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay, so let's try another example of multiplication as repeated addition. So let's look at this triangle here. So every triangle has 3 sides. So that's the table, that's what our table is all about here. The first row shows the number of triangles, and then the second row shows the number of sides for the number of triangles, okay? So how many sides are there for all 5 triangles? If you have 5 triangles, that will be just like 5 times 3, because there are 5 triangles and there are 3 sides per triangle. So that's just like 3 sides for the first triangle, plus 3 sides for the second triangle, plus 3 sides for the third triangle, plus 3 sides for the fourth triangle, and plus 3 sides for the fifth triangle. If you total them all up, that will be 15. And if you check your multiplication, 5 times 3 is also equal to 15. How about if you have 4 triangles? Well, if you have 4 triangles, that will just be 4 times 3, or equal to 12. Okay, so let's work on some examples in your book and textbook and workbook, and have fun.